Hello. Welcome once again to Tall, Dark, and Moderately Handsome. I am that guy, Alejandro. So another week has gone by, and I'm still searching for work. I didn't have a single interview this week. Crazy that last week I had like 3, and this week nothing. Just no predicting how this goes. It's crazy, this job searching thing. And I'm even applying for stuff I may not even be qualified for. You know, a lot of these things say you have to have experience in human resources and working in a medical office. Like, can't you just train me? So I'm trying for them too. Might as well. You just never know. But it's daunting. I applied to over 130 places. How can so many not want to even interview me? Not even an interview. I'm totally qualified to do some of these jobs I've applied to. Why would they not want to even interview me? I don't get it. And I am trying not to be too picky, but I don't want to take a serious hit. $15 an hour or above is what I have to do. Even $15 an hour is too low from what I was previously making. But damn. I hope it's going better for anyone else who's listening out there, because this is ridiculous. It has been exactly 2 months since I was laid off. Exactly 2 months as of May 6th. That is crazy. I don't think I've been without a job this long for years. I moved to Florida from New York in 2008. That's when my wife and I decided to try a hot dog vending business because, hey, we saw there was a scarcity, but by the time I moved here, there were a few. And it was during the recession. So people weren't really going out of their way to buy hot dogs and stuff, and we just couldn't secure the best location. We kept trying. We went to multiple places. We went to auctions. Just a lot of wear and tear. But then I worked for Walt Disney World. And that was another hour and 15 minutes each way to Orlando for $7.70 an hour. Letting people through the turnstiles and controlling the audience during the parade. Parade audience control. On another note, I was doing dinner theater and I got paid for that. That was fulfilling and fun at times. A lot of traveling for that too. I even was a server at a restaurant, but I only worked for tips, which was pretty cruddy. Sometimes it was very inconsistent. Then I worked at Build-A-Bear. Yes, I worked there part-time. That was cute, but didn't pay diddly squat. And then worked for Lowe's as a cashier. That could be a tough racket if you had to go outside in the garden. Ooh, here in Florida, I'd be coming in at 5 o'clock at night, and it was like 100 degrees plus in the garden. You'd think it'd be getting cooler as the nighttime was coming on. No. Humidity seems to rise out here. And then I left them to work full-time at the clerk's office for 9 years. Until 2 months ago. And I just really had no idea how hard it would be to find something new. Even with the interviews I did have, I think I handled myself well. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I should get a employment place to interview me and see how I do. What am I saying? Does it sound too chat GPT-y? Because I'm using some of the things it recommends. And then making it my own, combining things, but there's a lot of other people out there too, so it's just challenging. Okay, moving on to the creative part of moi. I joined Substack. I saw a YouTuber talk about it, and from what she said, I said, this might be something that works for a creative. It's basically a creative space to post newsletters, podcasts, and other creative ideas to subscribers via email. So if you have your Substack page and someone subscribes to it, whatever you post will be emailed to them. So like this, I'm now putting this Tall, Dark, and Moderately Handsome on there as a podcast. So if you subscribe and I post a new episode, then it'll go right to your email and you can listen to it. So it seems okay, and I've been posting my Upstarts on there. I posted episodes 1 and 2 so far differently. I also include my text of what I wrote, so you can listen and read along. Little added bonus. And I did post episode 7 yesterday on YouTube, so it is available to check out. Much appreciated if you did. And we'll see. Substack can seem a little crowded at times. It's hard for me to want to subscribe to someone because when I get something in my email, I'm like, well, I guess it would have to be something I'm really interested in. They seem to be pushing the newsletter thing, the long-form written content. I really like to express myself via this route, speaking and performing. I want to save my fingers for writing my stories and journaling. Obviously, in this day and age, you can do talk to text and then edit it and post it. I have been playing around with my writing style as well. I usually do the brain dump where I have story ideas and start just writing down dialogue and the story in the notebook. It's pen to paper. That seems to work best for me. When I'm holding that pen, the ideas come out a lot faster. I can't type that fast. But I'm now trying something a little different where I'm outlining everything a little more, giving a little more character details and their personalities and what they are doing in the story. What do they want? What are they trying to accomplish? Are they good? Are they bad? Are they misguided? Do they need help? Are they going to go from the dark side to the good side? So I've been doing that kind of outlining now and then just hitting the computer with my fist. No, hitting the computer and going into Word and typing there from what I've gleaned from my notebook. It seems to be working a little better. Just a little better. I'm digging it. I have been listening to Think Again by Adam Grant on audiobook. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's a really good motivational author, and I've only read one other of his books called Give and Take. I highly recommend that. And then I saw this on audio, said, let me check it out on Hoopla. And he's knocking out of the park again so far. It's about thinking like a scientist, examining something from different angles, knowing that there's just not one side to this, right? It's allowing your beliefs to change a little. Don't be married to these beliefs. Your values, yes. These are your non-negotiables. Those are the things at the core of you that you value the most. But your beliefs can change. And they do. And you should let them. Because remember, beliefs are just beliefs. They're not facts. There's no scientific backing to them. So approach things like a scientist. Examine it. Figure it out. It may make you think again. In the book, he talks about The Incredibles. Brad Bird was the creator and director of that, and not many people at Pixar wanted to make it. They thought it'd be too difficult. Like, up to that point, they'd really just worked on monsters and bugs and toys. But to make human beings, they were like, And he obviously still put it out through Pixar, but he sought out other animators and creators that thought differently, calling them pirates. Like, no idea was too small. Just give me everything. If you think you can do something better, please tell me and we'll go from there. And they had some cost-effective methods, great ways of creating hair that hadn't been seen in Pixar movies, and a classic was born. And I love watching movies. And I just saw one based on a real person, an artist. It was called Tick, Tick, Boom. It was about Jonathan Larson, who created Rent, played wonderfully by Andrew Garfield. And his struggles to create this play called Superbia, that was before Rent. This is taking place in 1990. He's working as a waiter in a little diner, trying to create this musical that's really quirky and odd and way out of the box. And the struggles he has to go through, and it's him in this crappy apartment, struggling with balancing that and his love life, his friendships, money. And the whole thing was leading up to this workshop where people were going to see Superbia being performed by a bunch of singers and musicians. And there were industry people there. A lot of them loved it. They enjoyed the songs. They knew his talent, but no one wanted to make it. It's too expensive, too weird. Right there, the carpet is pulled out from underneath him. That's horrible. All this time he poured into this, to this play that he, lived and breathed. And now what? His agent said, you got to do the next one. Move on. Wow. And he was 30 when this happened. And, I can kind of get that. I didn't give much thought to my age, but here I am at 55 and like, oh, brother. 30 seems so foreign to me until it happened. And then I'm like, what have I accomplished? And then time moves forward. And he was ready to go corporate. He had a friend working in corporate America and was going to just like, okay, that's it. What's the point of doing this? No one cares. But friends and family encouraged him, and he actually wrote Tick, Tick, Boom, and then Rent. And this is the tragic part. If you don't know, he died before Rent premiered, like maybe a day or two before, at the age of 35. He never got to see it. He never got to enjoy the success. All that. And he died? That is tragic. Why did that happen? Was his whole point of living just to create Rent, but not be around to enjoy it? He was 35. It pisses me off. I mean, I got a little choked up knowing that he died and he wouldn't be able to embrace this and relish in this and be appreciated for who he was. Why is it so hard for artists to get rewarded? Why is that club so exclusive? Why is it so hard to get in and be successful? Why? Why are we made to suffer for this? I just don't understand it. Like, you see Rent and it's like, yeah, this is obviously a great show, but you just don't realize the road it took to get there. Maybe that's the same for many of the other musicals. To get a Broadway musical is almost like getting struck by lightning. To become an actor in a major motion picture, same thing. Your band getting signed for a record deal. You're being signed by a publisher to publish your book. Why? Why is it so hard to get past these gatekeepers? Why don't they want us to come in? Why don't they want us to be part of it? I just don't get it. I look at something like Backstage, which is the newspaper for actors and producers and directors, and you have to subscribe to it. Most online acting pages you have to subscribe to, even voiceover acting, to get leads to audition. Meanwhile, you could go to Indeed or Monster.com, Glassdoor, Career Builder, all these sites, and all the jobs are posted for free. Why are acting jobs so sacred that they can't have them out there for free? I don't get it. It makes no sense. It's horrible. And it never changes. And me, my artistic endeavors are very strange and different too. I mean, here I am writing an audio series that no one really seems to care about right now. And then I'm writing this Fight to Save the Universe idea I had. And it's coming along super slowly. And I'm just like trying to figure out, where does my art fit in? Why doesn't anybody care? And a part of me who thinks, maybe this is the same for Jonathan Larson's work, that the world wasn't ready for it yet. The world had to catch up to you. And it was all in that time that in 1996, actually 30 years ago, Rent debuted on stage for the first time. But the road leading up to that, and everything worked to that point. The world was ready for Rent and Jonathan Larson's music and story. And I was thinking of Jim Carrey. He had his little weird stuff. He was doing his shtick throughout the 80s, flying way under the radar. But he was in movies. And then when he got In Living Color, that was it. That led to so many other things. And then when finally, in 1994, he had the biggest year, I think, of any actor in the 90s. In the same year, he had Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber. 3 movies the same year that were all hits. And I guess the world was ready for Jim Carrey at that time. Not back then. Maybe he also refined himself, or kind of, refined his craft, got into his characters more, and just embraced what he did better. I don't know. There's such a weird combination of luck, timing, talent. But so freaking frustrating. When is it going to be my time? That's what I'm asking. And I'm sure many of you ask the same question. Here's hoping we find it together. And I really wish, if you're pursuing something in the arts, you get your big break. You deserve it. So long as it's for the betterment of humankind, not something oppressive, nasty, deceitful. You're not going into it with the worst of intentions. Something the world needs that's going to uplift, inspire, make it a better place. Because the world does need our art. Whatever form that is, it does need it. It's so much a part of us. It's woven into our tapestry, into our lives, into our DNA. Yes, indeed. Okay, I think that about does it. Thanks for listening to me. I'll update you on my weekly progress. See you next week. Hopefully we can grow from there, what we can accomplish together. I really appreciate you checking me out. Hope this made you feel like you're not alone. Hey, if you want to vent your frustrations to me too, come on. Let me know. And we'll go from there. All right, thanks for tuning in to Tall, Dark, and Moderately Handsome Me. Until next time, much obliged.